Hey, Domestic Don, Josh Landers in the dungeon yet again. As my five listeners know, I've had a couple of dog problems lately. I had the dog toe pustule, which she had a cone on her head. She's outside right now. Um, we took her to the dog park on Sunday, my daughter and I, and she just ran. She ran for about 35, 40 minutes straight without actually stopping. There was another golden retriever dog there, some sort of skinny, bony greyhoundish looking thing, some other mutt that the owners didn't like our dog being around. So it was, but she ran for 35, 40 straight minutes, and now she has a limp. So I think she got sore. I think she outdid herself. And it started making me think about the neighbors that I had when I was a child. And we had neighbors that killed our dog. It killed our poor basset hound, Calamity Jane. And I think I was probably 6 or 7 when we got this dog. My dad was a mailman for years. One of his people on his route gave us a dog. They gave us a fucking basset hound. I don't know why, but I remember I had my Hanson Lane Elementary Roadrunners jacket, one of those slick kind of 1980s style jackets that are maybe kind of more popularized now. I see, NFL players wearing them. I see people wearing. I had a 49ers gay jacket like that as well because I was a fucking front runner. I was a homer. Well, not a homer. I was a front runner. I was a bandwagon kid. So I liked the 49ers, but I had one of those slick starter jackets. You know what I'm talking about? The material. It's glossy. It has a sheen to it in the sunshine. But I had my Hanson Lane Elementary Roadrunner jacket, or maybe it was my brother's. But I remember my dad came home and we see this big, giant, floppy-eared fucking basset hound come through the front door of our dilapidated country home on a dirt road across from a sheep farm, and she just slid on the Hanson Lane jacket. I just remember these giant ears just flapping behind her. Cute mutt, floppy lips. My daughter right now would love her so much because she loves those floppy, rubbery lips. I don't know what it says about my daughter, but she won't leave our dog alone. She just flops those things all night long, or she could. So we had this dog, Calamity Jane. She was cute, but growing up where I grew up, living where I lived, it was rural. We were in the country. Our dogs were outside dogs. They came in every once in a while, but I don't remember ever sleeping with our dogs, snuggling up with. They were outside. They had dog houses outside on our beautiful untenable desert wasteland yard. We couldn't grow shit there. There's eucalyptus trees in the backyard, but I think my mom, who tried to have a green thumb, it was really hard to get through that hard pan dirt to grow any sort of agriculture in sort of the deserts of eastern counties, San Diego. But we tried. But she was outside a lot, our dog. And she was a sweetheart. She was a sweet, older dog, I think, when we got her already, or maybe 3 or 4 years old. I can't remember. And she grew old with us. We had stray cats everywhere in the back of in our backyard, living in broken down Thunderbirds and shit, or whatever we had in the backyard. Different types of cars that were left behind by uncles, vagabonds, tweakers. I don't know who they were, but we just had sometimes carcasses of cars. We had an old trailer in our backyard that we used to jump off of and make old camcorder videos with, those old big block camcorders. Fun time, fun life. But she was, like I said, outdoor dog. She loved the cats. The cats loved her. But then one of our neighbors, we had neighbors when I grew up. I remember our old neighbors, the neighbors we liked, the Brightenbaugh. And if they're still around, I don't know if the parents are still alive. They got to be in their 80s now. Shout out to Jerry Brightenbaugh, Phyllis Brightenbaugh. Then we have Dave Brightenbaugh, which is the son. And then we have Pam Brightenbaugh, which was the daughter. This is the brother and sister duo. I think Dave Brightenbaugh was a little bit older than my brother. Pam might have been my brother's age. They were all older than me. And they were nice neighbors. We got along with them. My parents talked to them. I don't remember what they did as a job, the parents. I just remember pictures, and I remember situations when I was a kid. I was this little towhead little asshole with a fucking Jim Carrey bowl cut from a Dumb and Dumber. Why my parents did that to me, I don't know. But when I still had a hope at life at some point, I still had some sort of like a sparkle in my eye, a twinkle of some kind, if you will, that I was going to make it in life. I had like this pudgy little cheeky face, this little button pudgy nose. Like I said, I had this kind of surfer bowl gay cut. I had something back then. I don't know what happened. I had teeth that didn't look like a fucking wet dream for a necrophiliac. I don't know what it was. But I had something. But I remember these pictures, and Dave Breidenbach, in my mind, he was a toe-headed guy, too. He was tall. He was like a giant of men. He's probably 14, 15 years old. I probably saw his ball hairs once or twice. I don't know. Maybe that's a weird lock and key and lock and peel, key and peel, whatever it might. There's something maybe in the back there that I remember seeing something. I'm like, what's that? What's that mass of toiled and trembling hairs by your crotch, Dave? Probably not. But he used to wear those like really short, those 80s shorts, like the gym teacher shorts, if you know what I mean. Like they look hot on chicks now, the old 80s style. They're really high. But that's what meant. And he had really high socks, I remember in a picture. We're all tan. I was wearing my fucking Thundercats Ho jammies or whatever I was wearing. Maybe, no, I don't think Thundercats were around back then. What was like 82, 83? Webster? Did I have Webster pajamas? Could we do that back then? Is that culturally appropriating if we had Webster pajamas? Who played Webster? Was that Emmanuel Sanders? No, it's a football. Emmanuel Lewis? Is that a boxer? Trainer? Was that his name? There was Webster, and then there was the other Different Strokes dude. Which one was which? I don't remember, but they're both good. Both great actors. Are they both dead? I think they are. Was that because they were small? Did they have large hearts? Giving hearts? But whatever I was wearing back then, I just remember these pictures of just quintessential rural 80s. Fields in the background, a yard that really, like I said, couldn't grow trees. And it was just quintessential neighbors, quintessential rural suburban neighborhood. Dirt road, like I said, a farm across the way. Before it was a farm, it was just open land, open fields of dirt and rock, and typical East County, interior sort of California, Southern California, the desert land that stretches for miles and miles and miles away from that little mile strip of coast that you have that runs all the way up in California, mile wide strip. But then we had other neighbors move in. I think the Breidenbaugh might have moved to Colorado, I believe. Maybe they were from there originally. I can't remember all this stuff. I was young. They moved probably when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. I don't remember. Then another family moved in, and they seemed okay, but they were a little more aloof. They didn't seem to, or maybe it was my parents. Maybe it was all my parents. I don't know, but they seemed a little bit more distant. I don't remember because they were old. They were just an older couple, but they had grandkids. And we had Calamity Jane. She was walking around the fucking backyard, sniffing, shitting, pissing, whatever dogs do, playing with the stray cats, fucking the stray cats. I don't know if we ever got her fixed. I don't know if she was fixed. I can't remember those things. I remember at one point when I was young, my sister, she was like kind of a 4-H person, and she liked horses and cows and chickens and goats and shit like that. And somehow we would get one every once in a while. I remember a goat in high school that we had in our backyard for some unknown reason, this devilish satanic goat, which they are, with the slit yellow eyes. And it had horns for fun stuff, satanic horns. And then my friend was out there, and it just came and headbutted him right in the balls, right in the ball sack, just out of nowhere. This goat just it just butted right into my friend's ball sack. But we had a pig. We had a large pig when I was a child. And I remember my mom, just to probably get me out of the house, to shame me in some way, to belittle me possibly. I'll go feed the pig, Josh. Or maybe I wanted to. Maybe I was sort of a ag kid. Maybe I'm a 4-H kid, shit-kicking, boot-wearing person, Wrangler-styling person at heart with a big fucking belt buckle, and I liked the flat saddle-ass women even more so than I did probably back then when I was a woman. I didn't know what a girl was, but I liked that flat saddle-ass. They got some spunk to them, those 4-H women and girls. But I went out with this pig feed, I don't know what it was, and we had this kind of cage out in the backyard, I believe, to the side, past the broken down Corvair, COVID car, and then not a Corvette, but something lesser than that. We were not Corvette people. We were lesser. Corsair, Corsage. What kind of Corsage? What's the fuck? Is there a Corvair? There might be, but there was this like pen. Pig pen, and it was a fence of some kind. So I opened it up, and this fucking big 400-pound porker just, and it just, and I start running. I threw the slop down, or maybe I was holding it. I don't know. It's all faded, foggy memories, and I'm just running. I just picture myself, this little fucking limp dick little kid with a Jim Carrey bowl cut, just. just huffing it through the backyard. I was probably going so slow, just like a wiener dog trying to run but can't. It just has short, stubby legs, and like, and then the pig just and it just upended me, just woo, just right in the air, and I see my limbs flailing, my hairless body like a pink squirrel, a newborn squirrel, just flying through the air and just landing and just like probably knocked the air out of me. I was probably scared. I was probably crying. I was a dude. I was a shithead. I was a pussy. But I remember that. But the neighbors that moved in were the grandparents. And like I said, there was a kid in my grade that was the grandson that would visit with his mom. And we called him Fat Mike Kelly. And this was before Fat Mike, from NoFX, the punk rock lore. That was before I knew who he was, of course. They were probably playing up in LA at that point, 1987, 9, whatever the fuck it was. So Fat Mike Kelly, he was the reddest haired kid I've ever seen. He looked like a globfish. Is that what it's called? Or a goblin fish? No, a blobfish. He looked like a blobfish with red hair. If you see a blobfish, that's how I picture him at least. He's like the kid, he takes off his shirt and you can't tell, like, are those freckles all over his shoulders and back, or is that some sort of weird skin condition that we can't make fun of? And I feel for redheaded people, I really do. Not as much as I do for crooked teeth people like myself, but I feel for redheads. They have a tough life. They have some pigment, they have some sort of geneless or some gene defect or something. They can't get tan, but they would still take off their shirt, and they have those like pink nipples, and they weren't always like fit people. Carrot Top is maybe an outlier, but an outsider of the redhead class. But they weren't very fit. He wasn't a fit man. He was a Fat Mike Kelly. But and for some reason we came home, or I came home from school, and our dog for weeks and weeks leading up to this had like a sore on her side. She had a sore on her side. Let's call it a pustule as well, just like my dog, but like a sore on her side that just wouldn't go away. And she was getting older. She was probably 10, 11 years old, maybe 12. I'm not sure if my dad even knew how old the dog was when he got her from his postal route, from probably some weird San Diego County suburban wasteland, the rich areas where he delivered mail. Maybe he was a drug dealer, and he just wanted to give my dad a dog for some reason. I don't know. But she had a pustule, a cancerous-looking thing, a tumor, mind you, but like a tumor that burst. And, we didn't have money. Vets are expensive. I still haven't taken my dog to the vet. We had the cone for a reason, and I'm sure there's some ASPCA people out there, some Sarah McLachlan fuckers, cunts, that will be like, well, you gotta take your dog to the vet. I don't want to take my kids to the fucking doctor. I don't take myself to the doctor unless I feel like I'm dying. I don't go to the doctor unless I'm dying. I mentioned that before. So I'm not taking my dog, who seems okay with the pustule. It's healing now after a couple of weeks. It's getting better, but now she's got this fucking limp, whatever's going on. But I think she sprained her ankle. I think dogs have ankles that sprain, or tendons or ligaments or something that, need rest, just like anybody else. But we're not taking, my parents didn't take her to the vet because they probably figured, one, they're going to charge just a couple $100, back then even $100, just to look at her. Oh, is she up to date on her shots? No. Is she up to date on her? No, she sleeps with fucking cats and a goddamn a thunder chicken in the backyard. We have a carcass of cars where our dog sleeps with a horde, with a bevy, what do they call it in the Islam? What do they call it when you have a horde? A garum? No, garum. Harem. When they have she has a fucking harem of cats, and that she sleeps with, and she fucks, whatever she does, or the cats fuck her. I don't know if she was a girl. They suck on her teats. She has no milk. Maybe she sucks on the cat's teats. I hit a cat with a wiffle ball bat one time when I was a kid. We shot somehow a cat in the eyeball with a BB gun. That's how horrible we were when we were kids. This is what we get when you grow up. Oh, I'm from San Diego. I'm not from fucking San Diego. I'm from San Diego East County. Right? We'd scare them. My brother and I would scare the cats underneath this fucking goddamn Kia Sorrento, whatever we had in the backyard, and the Volvo station wagon, and we would scare the cats out from under there, and they were just like little kittens. And then we would wait around the corner like a fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon with a big hammer, but I had a wiffle ball bat. We were just like, we would try to hit the fucking cats with a wiffle ball bat. And then one time we got a smart idea, got our BB guns, and we shot at them, and we hit one in the eye. And it didn't die. These cats were tough. They were yard cats. They're rural fucking cats. They escaped coyotes every night. Skunks, badgers. I don't think we had those in San Diego, but they escaped shit that was trying to eat them every single night. And we shot one in the eye, and it came back the other day. It just had this fucking red, purplish pustule over its eye, and it was just looking at me like, you son of a bitch. I will smother your children if you ever have any, but you're too ugly to ever bear children. That's how it looked at me. And then I hit it with a fucking baseball bat. So the neighbors with my dog's pustule, and we had a chain link fence that separated. This is why I want to not live by people. This is what, if I do live by people, unfortunately I do, I would rather have like 10-foot surrounding steel barrier around me. I would like a compound. I don't want people to be able to look over into my yard, which we unfortunately have now because they're a little raised up than we are. We're on the slope of the suburban wasteland here. In wine country, and I want like 80-foot wall. I want the wall that Trump promised on the border. That's what I want around my house. That's what I want around my backyard. That's what I want around me, metaphorically. That's what I want. All right. So we didn't have that. We had a chain link fence that just went around. We had an acre in our backyard. So an acre in rural, non-growing backyard in terms of agriculture, non-fertile back. We just had this long strip of chain link fence. And when we had the Breidenbaugh there, when we had old Jer and Phyllis, Phil, is that how you, Phyllis? Is there a nickname for Phyllis? Fellatio? Dave and Pam, Breidenbaugh. We didn't have to worry about it. They weren't going to call the vet or ASPCA or animal control. They weren't going to do anything like that if they saw Calamity Jane or any other ragamuffin dog that we took off the streets. We had like a German Shepherd with fucking when their hair falls out. What's that called? When they go like leathery skin. Is it mange. They had mange. I remember smelling brewer's yeast tablets and trying a bit of one. What are we giving our dog beer for? And that's probably why I became like a pseudo alcoholic. 24 days sober, by the way. 24 days sober. I'm drinking fucking non-caffeinated coffee from Colombia. That's when you know you're going gay. So I think sobriety for me over the last 24 days, and I'm by no means sober. By no means. But, the idea of going 24, 25 days, which I'm going to hit tomorrow, I think it has turned me a little gay. And that's not saying it's a bad thing, but I went to the store and I bought uncaffeinated coffee, non-caffeinated coffee, caffeine-free. Why? I drink coffee that has caffeine in it, but I don't want the jitters. And then I bought a 10-pack. They don't even fucking sell it in 12-packs. I bought a 10-pack of Zevia. Zevia, which is stevia extract, whatever the fuck. It's like a play on word, stevia extract, I think. I don't know what that is. Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? I'm sure it's going to come down the road that real sugar is really actually better for you than stevia extract. I'll drop dead of either the COVID vaccine or stevia extract, whatever it might be. But I bought a 10-pack of cream soda. All right, I was getting ginger root beer Zevia 10-packs. Then I got fucking cream soda. So non-caffeinated coffee, caffeine-free coffee, and non-caffeinated cream soda Zevia. Not actual fucking A&W cream soda, not the good shit. This is Zevia, sparkle, no color, no caramel coloring, no fucking ink dye, number 97. So a little gay. And speaking of gay, our neighbors were a little gay. All right, I'm using that as a term to say stupid, not the other one. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, remember that? So the idea of our neighbors, the new people, the fat Mike Kellys, he wasn't there, I don't think, but it was his fat grandparents, which were also equally pale. Never saw them without their shirts off, even though they did put in a pool. I don't know if the Breidenbaughs had a pool next door, but I believe, no, they didn't, because we would have went over there a lot more. But I think fat Mike Kelly's grandparents, with his constellation of Frecks, I think they put a pool in there for some reason, just to make him have more cancer. And anyway, they called somebody. So I came home from school one day. I'm like, where's Calam? Where's Calamity Jane? Where's my floppy-eared dog that I don't pay attention to? And they're, the animal control came, and now she's dead. That's what happened. Now she's dead. I don't know who broke the news to me. Was it my mom? Was it my dad? Was it my brother? Was it Fat Mike Kelly's parents? Just woo, waving the fucking flag of victory on the other side of our chain link fence, saying, your dog's dead. We killed the dog. So they called animal control because somehow across the chain link fence in the fucking shit kick town of cow shit and chicken shit wafting through the heat of late summer. When I come home from 7th grade, frustrated, getting bullied I got my 49ers hat, just woo. Some guy just picked my hat off in 7th grade and just flicked it across the fucking gymnasium. You know what I did? Zilch. I didn't do dick because I was fucking 4'6", right? I looked like a girl. People wanted to fuck me, males and females. I had a chick in high school. She would come behind me and just stick her finger up my ass hole and just. Did I talk about that before? She just like a little fucking little badger lick. or a little squirrel. Can you hear that? She would just do that to my asshole. I don't know. And I'd scream. She was assaulting me. But, I'd come home from school just like beat down, not beating off yet. I was a late bloomer, still playing with my G.I. Joes in fucking bed. When I was like up until 9th grade, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And now Calamity Jane is gone and dead. They put her to sleep. They fucking euthanized my basset hound because our goddamn nosy ass neighbors couldn't keep to themselves. They were looking through the chain link fence and just being like, ugh. Is that cancer? This poor dog. I don't know if did Calamity Jane with her fucking droopy basset hound eyes and her big pathetic ears just like, help. Did she go up there? Did she walk her short, stumpy ass up the little, we had like a little mound or a berm that led to the fence? Every fucking yard was like uneven. We were like the most uneven yard. So when it rained, our house, back of the house would kind of flood. The front yard would flood. We're kind of like on a lower plane than the neighbors because we're lower than them. We were the half Jewish weirdos probably the only Jewish people in the entire town of Ramona, California. Maybe. Is there a synagogue in Ramona? I don't think so. Not even these days. I don't remember going to my friends and being like, I'm Jewish. I don't do that. They would say kike and whatever they said back then. Not good. I heard that a few times. Oh, don't Jew him, Josh. I'm like, hey, I'm Jew. I didn't say that. Like, oh, Jew him down. I'm like, hey, wait, whoa. You can't say that, man. Chris, Eric, Sean, Joe, whatever my friends' name were. You can't say that, man. Look at me. Look at me. I'm half Jewish. They didn't know that. But yeah, they killed my dog. Fat Mike Kelly with his fucking measles or mumps, rubella, whatever he had on his face and hair and head. His dark, carroty, gingery, miscarriage of a head of hair. He would just kind of, your dogs. He didn't say anything to me. Should I have beat Mike Kelly, Fat Mike Kelly? He would have smothered me. He would have thrown me in his pool with his pasty, porridgey body, and I would be dead now. I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys, my 5 listeners, my 19 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know if anybody's fucking watching this live. I'm doing this on some other stupid app am I even streaming? I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm streaming. I don't even know if I'm recording. I'm doing like a triumvirate here. I'm doing a podcast audio live, and I'm also recording on my shitty little camera here to see how long it actually lasts. It lasts longer than me, sexually speaking, much, much longer. So I can't complain about it. But would you kill your neighbor's dog? That's a question I would like to pose to most of you. I need to teach class in about an hour, and I'm talking right now. I'm teaching a class in Arkansas, and I'm not prepared. I'm unprepared, but I am prepared to ask you if you would kill your neighbor's dog. If you saw so are people on my neighbors in our 6-foot pathetic fences here? Are they looking over and be like, that dog's got a limp? That dog has a weird toe pustule. That dog has a cone. And I don't walk the dog outside with the cone on. I give her. She doesn't have a cone on anymore. Because like I said, the pustule is healing. I think I have it here. I'm a dog whisperer a little bit. And I know she's doing okay. I don't think she needs a vet and $500, $600 for some pills that a simple cone from PetSmart or Petco will fix. But if we took her outside, I'm sure one of our nosy-ass neighbors in the fucking suburban hell would say something. They'd be, oh, that dog she needs... So fuck off. Don't call shit on... unless you see like someone beating or abusing their animal or their children, maybe you should call somebody. But if you just see a dog with let him die now. It's a pustule. It's cancer. I think Calamity Jane wanted to die in the fucking Corvair. Corvair. That's what it was. Not Corsair. I'm sure she wanted to die in our Caprice Classic. In the hull of what once was a nice, strong American engine. I'm sure she just wanted to pass away amongst her cat harem, licking her taint and her nipple and just like, and she just wanted to flop her ears and just, thank you, world. Thank you, world. And then we got another dog. Then we got another ragtag dog. Kicked that motherfucker outside because of his mange. And that's how we lived. But no one ever called anything on mange. I think Fat Mike Kelly's grandparents felt bad, probably. And I don't think, did my parents yell at him? I don't know. But growing up in rural areas is kind of funny. It's a little funny. A little, much different than growing up in the city. I remember another real quick memory is that we had these like motorcycle kids. We had like a lot of monster kids around, like dirtbag kids. I probably talked about this on another podcast, but we had like monster kids all in our neighborhood. We grew up in like a weird place, all right? So I grew up in like I said, you hear San Diego County, but it's not San Diego County. It could easily be in fucking Kentucky. It could easily be like in fucking Oklahoma, somewhere in the dirtbag region that we consider in this country, dirtbag regions. Ramona could like, we could transplant there. They'd be like, it makes sense. People have like accents for some reason in Ramona. I'm like, you're from fucking San Diego County, right? But they had like, twang. They would have twang to them for whatever reason. Because how they grew up, how their parents, they all listened to fucking Conway Twitty and Merle Haggard and shit and Dolly Parton's tits. But I remember we had a couple of monster kids that would get on their dirt bikes, and like actual dirt bikes, not BMX, black sock douchebags, not metal militia guys, probably. They probably became metal militia Riverside cunts. So anyways, we had these guys, and were they twins? I don't know. I remember us twins for some reason. But there was kids, they're brothers. And they would come around and they would just do, donuts and zips and ties and fucking rooster tails, whatever you call it in motocross. I don't know. And they would just go past our house really fast, go in the field across from us, just fuck around. And I think they started pissing my dad off. They'd come into our driveway and like spit gravel and shit because we couldn't afford to lay any nice concrete or marble in our driveway. So we just always had like a gravel driveway or dirt. So they'd fuck around in there. My dad one time, I remember him yelling, oh, he was in his fucking postal gear. He was in his mailman shit, and he was angry and bitter, and he just, and he was like 5'6". He's like a 5'6" curly-haired Jew, and he's just running, and he's chasing after these guys in our driveway, and he just tripped. I remember my dad just fell. I'm like, oh, Dad. I was probably like 8. I didn't know what to do. My dad comes up, his knees are bleeding, but he's still like, oh, this fucking motherfucker, you gotcha. He's an old, just bitter Jew, like from lifelong intergenerational trauma of like people trying to kill him and his people for the last 1,000 years. So he had that, and he wanted to take it out, and he's like, ugh. He just wanted to like, you could see it in his face. He just wanted to choke these people, like choke these fucking kids. And I get it. Now I get it. Back then I'm like, oh, Dad, stop. I don't know what I even said. I don't know what I did. I'm sure he kicked me inside. I don't know. But I remember that memory too. So that's right. So again, just pose that question to yourself. All right. So, the idea of being sober, again, is not really, it's not good. I think I need to start drinking again. It's like, after all this time, I think it's not the beer that made me feel like shit. It's just me. Do I feel better? Yeah, I wake up better. Do I have more energy? No. I don't get more energy at 44. You don't automatically, whoa. Unless you're fucking testosteroned up, you're taking some sort of like vitality pills, you're sticking shit up like crystals up your, like bony crystals up your ass, that you're learning from some Instagram guru that gives you vitality and inspiration and ball warts, whatever it might get. You're unless you're taking something, you're not going to be any more energetic. So being like, I wake up without feeling like shit. I wake up without that sort of anxiety, whatever they call it, right? Without that anxiety of the world is like an impending doom awaiting you. I don't have that as much anymore. I'm sleeping better through the night. Sometimes I wake up in a panic like at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. If I go on like a bender or a binge, I'm not doing that anymore. So the sleep has been better. The face, your face clears up. Not mine. I've never had like a zit problem. I don't think my face looks any better. Maybe the yellowish tint has gone away a little bit. I don't look, my eyes are still veiny as shit since like when I was 8 years old. Probably some trauma, like one of my eyes, and I had like a blood clot that just burst in my eye while my dad was trying to fucking choke these twin psycho motocross kids out. But I don't know. But I don't like the cult nature of sobriety. Has there ever been like a cult of drunkenness? I think there is, but it's always been kind of like taboo. If you remember, back, I don't remember it, but, when we had in the heyday of this country, or pre-heyday, I don't know. What was the heyday, the 50s? We're not in a heyday now. We're on a, like, sharp, steep decline. While I'm talking about this, there's, 34 mass shootings that have happened since New Year's Day. A couple in the last couple of days in California with the most strict gun rules and restrictions. The gun rules don't do shit. People just go to Nevada or Arizona to buy what they want to buy. So California might tout itself as it's like, oh, we're the most progressive. Look at our laws. We have the least amount of shoot. Okay, not anymore. So, what was I talking about? Oh, anyways, but sobriety, cults. How the fuck did I talking about guns? Oh, the heyday. That's what I was talking about. The 30s, the fucking prohibition. That's what it was. It's all coming back, right? It's all coming. So when we had the prohibition, it was all, the cult was was cool. The people who wanted to drink went down into these barracks or taverns, these hidden speakeasies, right? That's what it was. It was kind of like a cool party call. Yeah, man, we're doing it. We're breaking the law. We need something. The government's taking one away from us. Fuck them. Then we had moonshiners that are kind of like cool people in a weird rural, obviously way. So it's always been kind of like a cultish thing to drink, I think. It's been gregarious in other cultures, in Germany, of course, Bavaria, obviously Oktoberfest, other places in the world, Ireland, England. It's always been part of their culture, the pub life, the pub culture, the drinking culture. And now we have it in this country that's like, oh, it's put at you. It's advertised yes, of course it's advertised everywhere. So now we have this weird like sobriety cult that's happening. And I don't like it. And if I put something like hashtag sober, I'll get shit on fucking Instagram, which I hate doing. I do it as a joke. Right? It's a joke. I'm not a comedian. I'm not particularly funny. I have no real talent. But if I put hashtag sober, the 5 people that know me, the 5 listeners I have, they will know like he's not going sober. He's not pure sober, right? So it's not like sober life. I hate that. I hate that hashtaggy. I hate the better than thou. The sort of pretension that a lot of people, the pretentiousness that people have when they go sober. I always get irked when I see like one day at a time shit. When I see 2 years, and it just doesn't say 2 years sober. It doesn't say like 4 years sober. It just says 4 years. Like we're supposed to, as a society now, give them some sort of respect without a fucking finished thought or sentence. 4 years, what does that mean? It could mean anything. It could mean you're addicted to anything. But also in our brain, it's automatically you're addicted to alcohol, maybe opioids, whatever it was. And if you're sober, great. If you had a problem with being sober, if you had a problem with any sort of ailment or fucking like a pill, or you had an ailment that you needed to take these painkillers for, these opioids for, and you got addicted, I feel for you. I'm sorry. You see these, and I like I said, I've gone through my alcoholic tendencies. I have an addictive personality. I just went to the gym yesterday for 3 hours, and now I can barely get out of the gym before 3 hours. That is what's called addictive personality. I just bought fucking non-caffeinated coffee when I have like bags and bags and bags of fucking caffeinated coffee up there. I bought a 10-pack of fucking cream soda Zevia to stop me from drinking beer probably, or like kind of it replaces it. I've had ice cream. So the addictive quality is there. I understand it. I feel for those people who are addicted. And if your life is a fucking wreck and in toil, yes, sobriety is fine. But I don't need to see your fucking golden ticket, your token, what have you on Instagram or Twitter. I don't need to see it. And I don't need to have people just shove it in your face. A sober life's the best life, whatever the hashtags might be, or those catchphrases. I don't need it. It's become a cult. Massive cult. And if any of you are on Instagram, God save you. If you are on Twitter, God help you. If you are on whatever you might be, Snapchat, is that around anymore? But it's everywhere. The idea of like, it's cool now to be sober. I don't like it. The cool people used to be fucked up. The cool people used to be like the fringe. Right? Have I talked about this before? Who gives a shit? But like the Bukowskis, the fucking Hunter S. Thompsons, like the writers that, I love them or hate them, the Hemingways, the Fitzgeralds, they're all fucked up. They were all fucked up. Yeah, they were like abusers, sex addicts, whatever, of course, drug addicts, alcoholics, but they had that it to it. They had the what's the fucker, the gay dude and the Irish guy, Malcolm in the Middle. What the fuck's his name? Malcolm Gladwell? That's a bit weird. I don't know what he is. Frizzy-haired dude. He was kind of a douchebag. I saw was it Malcolm Gladwell? That's the guy that's a douchebag. He wrote like something about outliers, I think, and other shit. Anyways, I saw him on a posse, a podium, I don't know, something like that. And he was a bullshit artist, basically. He became one. He became like this woke fucking asshole. Not saying all woke people, they are. All woke people are assholes if they took it too far. They are. If you take anything too far, you're an asshole. That's the bottom line. What's the fucking guy? God damn it! I'm going to the fucking. I'm not going to Ireland, but he's like the cream of the crop. Fucking Seamus Haney, is that a guy? I went to school for this shit, and he wrote Oscar Wilde. Fuck yeah, Oscar Wilde. He's a gay, flamboyant, drunk probably all the time. Like anybody you see in past history, the Vikings, my people, they raped and pillaged. Did you think they were sober? Fuck no. The burning bush. You got like weed and shit and like fucking whatever those chemicals are doing. You're seeing burning bushes talk. It's all been around us forever. And all of a sudden, no, it was bad. It's bad. Of course it can be bad. It can be detrimental. I'd like to take a poll of people who are actually these sober cult motherfuckers, these goddamn David Koresh of sobriety. I would like to see how many of them actually had a problem, or are they just boosting themselves up like, oh, I had a problem. I had 2 glasses of wine a night, every night. That is not a problem. If you have 2 glasses of wine a night every night, that is not alcoholism. That is just like trying to relax. And I know a doctor would tell you, I know all these fucking Instagram gurus would tell you that, oh, what should you do in life? Don't drink. They'll say that all the time. But how many times do you see old people on the news right before they have the fucking water skiing squirrel at the end of the news? You'll see some like old 98-year-old person or 99 on the cusp of being 100. What's the key to life? And they'll usually say fried chicken and whiskey. Fuck yeah. I just spit. If you're watching this, if you even want to watch, I just spit on my computer screen. But what is my microphone? When I was in punk bands a lot, I was glad I was a drummer because I never wanted to use the fucking microphones that the singers in the bands I was in had to use. Do you know how much shit is in there? Do you know how much like smell is just claw? And you know those microphones at like Brick by Brick in San Diego and fucking Soma and shit, all the old school places we used to play, or never Soma, we weren't that good. But you know, Brick by Brick, Canes, whatever it might be. You know what? They don't change the microphones out. Maybe they do now with COVID. They didn't back this. So you just see like what the last singer ate. It was like sardines and fucking and loneliness, just like caked into the pores of that poor microphone head. But yeah, the idea of this sort of drink the Kool-Aid that's what it is. It's become the fucking Tom Jones, fuck. I know David Koresh. What's the goddamn, I fucking study this shit. What's the dude in Redwood Valley, California, went to fucking Guyana, gave people Kool-Aid. Ugh, I can't, my brain is mush. That's where alcohol, I'm fucking 24 days sober. 24 days sober. My mind is not more clear. I can't remember shit. I think it's age. My joints hurt, my wrist hurt. I worked out yesterday, my fucking elbow tendonitis hurts. Everything's breaking, man. So now we're going to just say, well, if you didn't drink, you would be fine. If you didn't, your life would be better if you didn't. I don't think so. I don't know. I just don't like the cultish nature of everything. Yeah, I go to the gym too much. But I also I like drinking. I like it. It's good. Have I been like pining for it for 24? No, 3 weeks and 3.5 weeks in. It's not even that hard, honestly. It's not that. The first couple of days sucked. Especially when you go on that weekend bender or that Christmas break bender, Hanukkah hangover, whatever you want to call it. You know, yeah, it's tough the first couple of days if you drink as much as I do sometimes and can't stop after that 1 or 2. But if you're one of those, sober life's the best life. And if you track these people and you had some sort of drink counter on, but do you really think they're sober? And I'm doing this true. And I'm saying I'm better than you. So if some people are doing dry January, and I hate it, that it's called, that I'm doing this now I'm not doing it on because it's dry January. I'm not doing it because of the fact that it's become a fad or a hashtag. I'm not doing that. I unfortunately proposed to my fucking wife on Valentine's Day. Not because I'm that bad of an asshole, but just because it was circumstance. She happened to be traveling up to where I was living at that moment, and she was not going to put out anymore if I didn't propose. And it happened to be, stupidly, fucking the Valentine's Day weekend. And I took her to a place called Wedding Rock. I know I've mentioned this before. I fucking went to Wedding Rock on Valentine's Day in Northern California, very fucking picturesque, with like waves crashing on the rocks below, the salty, sweet air of the ocean, and the fog enveloping us in this closeness of our relationship. And I said, "Will you marry?" And I'm like, "Nah, it just happenstance. All right, I'm not doing. I'm just doing this. My liver needed a break. If you go like, oh." Every once in a while, like, oh, is that pancreatic? Is that liver? Is that gallbladder? I don't know what it is. It's something in the fucking gut. And now I'm just trying to cleanse, I guess. So it could be March. It could be June. It could be fucking October. I don't know. But sober October, dry January. You know, we have these now. Do we ever have like a drink the fucking shit out of your body? Go raisin dry in your body. Like just get your organs down to a fucking raisin dryness. Not saturated, what is it called when you take shit out? Diuretic? I don't know, like when a vampire sucks shit dry. That's what it is. Do we have a month like that? Do we have like a March Madness, meaning fucking just like kill your liver? Do we have any of those? No. It's all about like sobriety. I think it's good, I guess. But I don't know. I don't like that. I just got in this. I saw this Twitter thing. This fucking dumb cunt. She's all made up. She all like filtered and shit. And she said, "Oh, alcohol is a scam." All right. So I had to look into this a little. Alcohol is a scam. What's the scam of alcohol? There's a lot of scams out there. There's like the Madoffs out there. There's fucking the Triangle or whatever the fucking Pan Am scam. That's an airplane. What's the fucking Trans Am? What's a scam that people have? You know what I'm talking about. Where they try to sell you shit. Pyramid scheme? That's it. Pyramid scheme. So they have the fucking Giza. So they have a lot of scams. There's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of scammy fucking people. The people who are homeless, quote unquote, and they stand at the side of the road or at the fucking edge of a Trader Joe's with a sign, and they have a baby in a stroller, and they have a sign that I can't read, and they're like selling roses and shit because they lost their loved one. I don't fucking know. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give those. That's a scam. It's a massive scam. It just is. So I think this lady advertised everything's a scam, lady, you bitch. Alcohol's a scam. And then she went into, well, the advertising's everywhere. It's so normalized on airplanes. Yeah. Fuck yeah. If I'm going to be 36,000 feet in the air, and it's not like physically, it doesn't seem to fit the physical properties of Earth to go into this thing, this little tin can, I'm drinking, all right? Because my life is on the line here. If I'm going to war, I'm not going sober. If there's mass shootings yesterday, tomorrow, today, why not drink? It's a scam because it's normalized in society. Yeah, what do you want to not normal? What isn't normalized? Drinking, airports, airplanes. She's not making a good case so far for me. Restaurants, all right. Football games, yep. Or any sporting event, yeah. Frats. If you're in a frat and getting your dick sucked by the fish, the incomers, the people that are wanting to join the frat, yeah, you deserve a drink, right? Wash that cum out of your mouth. The biscuit, the dry biscuit that the guy didn't jizz on. You gotta rinse your mouth out with something, man, and you're not gonna have fucking a Snapple. You're not going to use fucking kiwi strawberry Snapple to rinse your mouth off of fucking Tanner's cum. The leader of the frat, he's a junior, and his name's Tanner Gilbride or something. And he just came in your mouth, and now you're in the frat. You're not going to rinse that down with fucking strawberry yoo-hoo, right? You're taking a shot of something. You're taking Jaeger, baby. You're taking Jaeger, and then you're going to puke on his pubes later when he's trying to get seconds. All right, fucking Tanner Gilbride. Of course it's normal. Yeah, that's where the places happen. That's where it happens. And then you can choose or not whether you want to keep drinking into fucking oblivion. You want to keep drinking until you got fucking pustules. You look like I mentioned in one of my other stupid videos, like a fucking map quest. Like you look like or not map quest, fucking Thomas Guide, where you have veins and blues and reds all over your face. And, you're like, oh, what's that? Ugh. You're seeing your body deteriorate, maybe due to alcohol, maybe due to age, maybe due to the environment, maybe due to the fucking gas stove chemicals coming out of there. And what is that? Is that a cult too? So that's this fucking sobriety cult. This stupid asshole. I'm like, well, everything's a scam. Everything's a fucking scam then. And I actually responded to her, which I shouldn't have. Everything's a fucking scam. Everything. So food industry, massive scam. She didn't say that, but she's specifically targeting alcohol because she's sober. She's not fucking going on a hunger strike. If she was, she'd probably say food is a scam. Right? If she was makeup is a scam, which it fucking is. Makeup might be the biggest scam. The biggest scam in the world is that you don't look like that. Fucking Tawny Britches, whatever the fuck your name is. Tana. What did I say? Tanner. I'm on a T rant, right? I'm on a tyrant. I'm a T-Rex. So Tanner, Tana, whatever the fuck her name, Brittany. Her name was probably fucking Brittany or Alexis or something. Whatever it might be. But makeup. Look at you. You don't look like that. So I met you in person, and you sucked me off because I was drunk enough to come talk to you. And I was vibrant enough. I gave you enough want in your life to like feel alive. For whatever reason, I charmed you, Alexis. I charmed you, Brittany. Because you didn't, Hudson. I charmed you to sleep with me, and then I wake up to you next morning, but you're a fucking scam, bitch. That's what I would say. You're a scam. You don't look anything like your Twitter post or your Instagram. You're a scam. You're a filter whore. So yeah, take it for that. But the gas stove debate, that is one I just don't understand. What am I at here? 43 minutes. All right, let's see if is my camera gonna last? This camera's lasting. This one, we'll see. It's at 43, 44. Is it hot? Getting pretty warm. All right, let's see if we can go a little bit longer with that one. I don't get it. The gas stove debate doesn't make sense. Fuck, I don't want to talk about it. I'll leave it at that. But if you know the gas stove debate, I don't know if anybody's watching this. If anybody comments, let me know what it is. I had someone tell me, a friend of mine say, oh, it's about emissions. It's all about emissions. I haven't had a gas stove since probably like 2003 when I was renting in some shithole apartment in Humboldt County. Are we worse off health wise than we were 15, 18 years ago, 20 years ago? I don't know. But please just tell me what that debate is. I've always liked gas stoves because electric seems like dirtbag a little bit, right? I thought it was better always to cook with gas. Now we're hearing it's not. I think that's a scam as well. I think that is going against, that's going for the electrical grid companies. They're just trying to get us all electrified, right? Cars, stoves, our own brains, the microchip. They're all just trying to get us in this sort of weird cohort, just like the sobriety people, the cult out there. It's just the same thing, right? David Jones? Fuck! Tom Jones. Got the fucking singer. Everyone. Is that Tom Jones? Everyone. Everyone. Make me cry. I wanna die. Fuck, what's the guy? David Jones. Shit. I can't. Fuck, nothing's working. I can't get off here. All right, one of the dude Kool-Aid guy. Guyana Kool-Aid dead people. They didn't drink, but they drank the Kool-Aid. Non-alcoholic. Sugar, not good for you. Then we have the sugar cult. Anyways, but the gas stove cults. Anyways, speaking of scams, the gym is kind of a scam, which it is. But, I was in the sauna yesterday, and there's people there. And I'll be misogynistic. I'll be anti-feminist here. There's a lot of women out there. There's a lot of men too, but I'm attracted to women. I'm progressive that way. That will become progressive in about 20 years. Now we're all we're all unisex now. We all like we could kind of want to fuck anything or be attracted to anything. But like in 20 years, we'll be like, I think bad teeth are coming back. That's why I'm holding out. That's why braces have never happened in my face. But I'm holding out because I think crooked teeth will eventually become, because we're seeing too much perfection now. And it's always like the little quirks you get. It's like the mole, the little gap in the teeth, the little jewel, fucking little misplaced tooth, whatever it might be. We like that. The missing arm, the 4 nostrils, the 3 tits. We like that. Total Recall. I remember when I watched Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the 3 tit chick, I'm like, whoa. 3 tits. I mean, that's like a good problem, right? That's a good what's the word I'm looking for? That's a good hitch. No, that's a good ailment. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? Just a little quirk that people have. But yeah, anyways, I'm attracted to women. But the crooked teeth thing, I'm holding out for that because I think that the way to straight whiten teeth, the sort of veneer that people have in their mouth is just too much now. It's like, whoa, Jesus Christ, it's too perfection. So I think later on, people are like, wow, look at this mongoloid. Wow, this mongol. It's like what's the book? Brave New World with Aldous Huxley when he wrote that. It was the Beast or the whatever they called him, the Savage, I think they called him. And, he was a character, and people in that sort of utopian or that dystopian novel, they're like, oh my God, what is this guy? He's shirtless. He's kind of broad chested. He's a man, and they kind of were attracted to him. Or they're at least they were sort of not attracted, but they just didn't know how to react, I guess, to this sort of masculinity, right? So I think they will see that with my teeth later on. But at the gym, good bodies, meth faces. I see that a lot lately. It's like, whoa, geez, you see the yoga pants, you see the fucking halter or the spandex tops, you see the stomach, you see the ass, you see all these titties, you see all these, and all of a sudden, and they turn around and it looks like fucking what's the guy from Lord of the Rings? Gollum. My precious. They're doing like lat pull downs. My precious. And you're like, can you turn back around? They turn back around and start doing pull ups. Yeah, all right. There's the gymnast ass that I was looking for. But the good bodies, meth faces. And I kind of got stuck. I mean, they're fine. They're not that bad. I'm no one to talk here. But it's not just that. It's just, okay, I'll get away from that because that's not a good topic. But the sauna talk, I want to do a series of sauna talk. I want to bring my fucking camera in there like a creep. I want to talk to people in the sauna because that's where I have good conversations. We're sweaty. We're like sort of in our element. We're animalistic to a certain degree. We're open because we're just like kind of all there in the same situation with our bodies, with our minds, with our souls. But these 2 girls in there were in there yesterday. One happened to be the meth with a good body meth face. Anyway, they're in there and, we're all sweating. But I was sitting there just kind of like closing my eyes, trying trying to breathe through my nose, not meditating because that's douchebag stuff. That's guru talk. But I'm just trying to like relax, right, and sweat. And they're talking loud, they're laughing, which is fine. They're having a good time. But the things they were talking about made me kind of chuckle inside. And you could tell they're like talking, looking around at other people in there to be like, are we talking too loud? And they just started talking about typical fucking California stuff. And this is like sauna California talk. You wouldn't get it anywhere else in the world, I don't think. And they were talking about whatever industry they're in. And whenever you see someone that's talking about the industry, and they don't mention exact jobs, they don't talk about like whatever, they're talking about their job. They must have worked together. But they're talking about the industry. And you know what industry it obviously was? Right in my head, I knew, because I'm just that smart. I knew right away, it's like, oh, this is weed. This is the weed industry. And it was. I could tell roundabout through their conversation that it was. Oh, we have to go up to Portland. We have to go up to Seattle. Oh, weed. Fucking weed. And then eventually they started talking about weed a little bit, right? But they didn't stop there. They started talking about retreats, and not retreats with weed, but retreats with the soul. And one of them was saying, oh, my mom went on a 30-day silent meditation retreat. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. I just wanted to like either like slit my throat, whack off on the fucking little burner in the room to get more steam. Like, it would have just created like a nice steam of my manhood. But I didn't know what I'm like, oh God, here we go. And they just started talking about retreats, and they started talking about finding your own soul, your inner health, and all this other shit. I'm like, oh God. And I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed that I was staring at this one's ass earlier, and her probably her tits. I don't remember. But that's what men do. And now we're getting shamed at the gym for it. There's women. I saw a video the other day where the stupid fucking young teenage girl, what's this guy staring at? And the guy's not, he like looks over every once in a while. One, you're in fucking underwear. You're in underwear doing hip thrusters. Have you seen that video? Underwear doing fucking hip thrusters at the gym, and you're filming yourself doing it, you dumb fucking cunt. And men are cunt too. I've seen that fucking, You know a real gym person is someone who does not pull out their phone and take a picture of themselves. I've done it. I have done it, but not in the presence of others. I lock myself into a bathroom. I make sure nobody else is around because I want to feel secure about myself and my own body. I don't think it's bad to show your body off when you've been working hard and you're trying to better yourself. That not sober, fuck sober. But I never take a picture of myself like, I'm fucked up, when I'm drunk. But I take a picture, oh, here I am. I'm not trying to influence anybody. It's just kind of like, all right, this is it. This is what it's fine. It's fine to take. But when you're at the gym and you're working out and you're taking a picture of yourself, a video of yourself doing hip thrusters, but your ultimatum? No, your ulterior motive. You're a fucking ulterior motive. That's not a song. Something motive. Stiff little fingers. Anyway, your ulterior motive is to catch some dude looking at you doing fucking hip thrusters. Your pussy's up, your fucking mons pubis is like, it's like raising like a fucking elephant seal coming out of the water. You're fucking, what are we supposed to look at? And this one dude in the video, it didn't even look like he was looking at you. He kind of like glances again. He's probably like, can you get out the fucking machine? And then he comes over and helps her with the weight, and then she shuts the video off. Very cleverly shuts the video off. You're right? Push stop. She was just trying to get fucking hits, likes. Oh my God, you go, girl. We should be able to work out no matter what. You're wearing underwear. You're wearing underwear at the gym. You think a guy who has like a fucking spaghetti strap tank top, you think he's not trying to get looks from other dudes? That's what he's not trying to get chicks. Chicks don't give a shit about that much, I don't think. Maybe they do. I don't know. But they're looking at other... Have you seen the fucking guys flexing? They're not flexing for girls. They're flexing for dudes. There's like a bunch of young fucking 18, 19-year-old douchebags that go to the dirtbag YMCA that I would go to, and they're all flexing. They're flexing for each other. They're taking fucking pictures of each other. I didn't do that in the 80s. There's a game called Smear the Queer. They were all the queers we would smear. I got smeared because they thought I was a queer. They thought I was a girl. Wait, why are you with the boys? And they pulled my pants down. Like, oh, Jesus, is that a dick? And then they smeared me because I was a queer. But anyway, I don't get it. But anyways, these girls in retreats, silent retreats, they want to go on this. I'm like, the next talk, in my mind, I'm like, oh, fuck, they're going to start talking about fucking ayahuasca. They're going to start talking about fucking ayahuasca. What do they fucking start talking about? God, ayahuasca. I'm prophetic, all right? I am the Nostradamus. I am the Viking Jew. I know what people are going to be talking about before they talk about it themselves. Jesus Christ. So we have this, I don't like it, all right? So I don't like those videos where we're like, yeah, I don't think we should body shame people at the gym. I don't like those videos at all. There's an overweight person, a fat person working out at the gym. Like, oh, that's bad. That person's trying. What are you doing? You're taking a video of them, right? My fucking camera just, goddamn, there it goes. That camera turned off. All right, but at least we still got live going. I don't know. I got to figure this shit out. So about 50 minutes. That was 53 minutes. 54 minutes in, my camera survived. So maybe I may make those videos. Anyways, this is boring. All right. Oh, what do I have? All right. Let me see my pretentious notebook here. I see the. All right. Here we go. Redheaded dog killer. Got that. Good memories of neighbors. Bride and Boss. Good bodies. Meth faces. Yep. Sauna. California talk. Gas stove. Sober. Oh, Fluffer. Shit. Fluffer as a job. You know, that's what do I? All right, 5 minutes. Fluffer as a job. You know, the porn industry, and there's a lot of my wife. I think she's innocent, and to a certain degree, maybe too innocent. I've said many things to her, you know, sexually speaking, not sexually like that, and they go, ooh, not that shit. The old finger in the fucking other. That's the funniest. If you're watching this, which you're not. My 5 listeners, the funniest thing to have like sex, one is a blowjob where you're acting like you're giving a blowjob and you stick your tongue out. I can't do it because my teeth are fucked up. But the one where you stick your finger and you make a hole, like almost like an OK symbol without the OK, without the other fingers up. You're just making a hole. And then you stick your other finger in it. I love that. I love that, like just like in and out, the old in and out. I love that gesture. Anyways, but I think my wife is a little, you know, innocent, but naive as well. A little naive. So she probably wouldn't know what this is. You know, I've said many racial epithets in my past. I'm not saying people would think if I said that out loud, of course. Oh, everybody's racist, of course. But you know, I know things. I don't know where they come from. Does it come from reading? Does it come from life? Does it come from growing up where I grew up? Probably. You know, knowing all these dumb racist terms. But I also know like a lot of misogynistic terms. I have like 18 different ways to say tit or nipple. You know, I have probably 47 ways to say schlong or dong or dick or Dumbo ears or bat ears. Whatever you want to fucking call them. But you know, the job fluffer. I think if you notice, if you told most men, they would know what a fluffer is. Because we've watched gangbangs. Whether we would like to admit it or not, for whatever reason, we've watched one woman take a fucking bukkake. We've watched women just run the train, right? Go through the train, whatever you thought. Go fucking run through the lobby. I don't know what you call it. But yeah, running. But we kind of know what a fluffer is. It's a woman. That's just, if you don't know, if you're like my innocent, naive little wife, you would know like a fluffer is a woman. Maybe she doesn't know what it is. I think women are grosser than we are. They're sicker than we are. They're more twisted than we are. They don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how they don't know that they should put on their fucking registration sticker. The moment they get that registration sticker in the mail, you need to put it on your license plate, not just in your glove box. Because but if you're white, you'll never get pulled over for that. Most likely. But a fluffer as a job is a woman who sucks dick to get guys hard before they go run a train on some poor woman who had a bad childhood, right? Who has daddy issues, who's probably tweaked out on something, but she's sober. Remember, she doesn't drink alcohol, but she's on something, but at least she's not giving into the scam of alcohol. But, you know, the woman who's a fluffer, and I love that term, fluffer. You know, they can call her dick sucker, cock sucker, whore bag. You know, they could call her not quite good enough for porn, not good looking enough to be on camera, you know, neck up, what have you. But that's her job. Is she like a PA? Is she a production assistant? Possibly, but she's a fluffer. That's her job. She fluffs dudes, right? I love that. I love how we kind of sugarcoat that. We kind of put that in that sort of political almost language a little bit, that double speak, whatever you want to call it. You know, fluffer as you know, we have sandwich artists at Subway. We have like greeters at Walmart who are just like decrepitly old people who never actually greet you. Have you know? I haven't been in a Walmart in a long time because we don't have one here. Not saying I'm better than you, but we just don't have one nearby. So I haven't been, and they have greeters at other stores, and some of them say hi, oh hi. Jeez. When they say hi, it's a little, and then like Target has young ones. What's the other young one? I saw another greeter, someone else. I was like, quite good looking, a good looking lady. But Walmart doesn't have that. They hire people who are just like on death's doorstep. You know, they can barely move. They might be in those little beep 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 little fucking carts. Rascals, whatever they call them. But yeah, the greeter. Then we have like associates at Home Depot. They didn't call me an employee at Home Depot. They called me an associate. I had like a fucking. They just try to get. That's a cult. That's a cult in itself, right? To give you that the verbiage or the name, the adjective, whatever the description of your employment is not really what you're supposed to be. A barista. You make fucking coffee. All right. You're a barista. You work at Starbucks. You're part of the system, man. But Fluffer is probably the best. I can't think of another one that is better than that. Because if you think about it, if you've ever held a limp dick in your hand, and it's something to think about that most of us and I've seen memes on this, I've probably heard comedians talk about it. Every single person in the world, every single person at one point has held a dick in their hand, and probably limp. Males more so than others, but everybody in this world, and that's something to think about. That is global. That's like 8 billion people, whatever we're up to now, has touched a dick at some point. So everybody knows that a fluffer. Can you just see it? It sounds nice. It sounds homey. It sounds like warm, right? It's this woman who's doing a job. But what is she doing? She's fluffing men. She's fluffing men up to do. We should have that at other industries. How would you fluff up a FedEx driver? How would you fluff up your local nursing assistant? How would you fluff up your local bartender at TGI Fridays? How would you do that? I think we need to have more in that life. And you could be a male or female now to do that. You don't need to be a female to fluff. You could definitely be a male fluffer, right? So I think we need to have that in our society a little bit more in all industries, not just a porno industry. I know some people don't want to get into that industry. I can't for obvious reasons. I'll accidentally, my snaggletooth will like hit a clit or something that it'll just be like geysers of fucking blood. Ah! He hit me in the clit with his fucking goddamn Wolverine teeth. Ah! And is that Steve Buscemi with Aaron Rodgers mixed together? That's what they would think. Anyway, so I think fluff should be part of our culture. All right? So take that in consideration. Let me know if you have any dog killers in your neighborhood. And, for God's sakes, have a drink if you want to have a drink. If not, I don't need to see your tokens. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good week, and blah, blah, blah.